The new Xiaomi SU7 has got to be one of the most compelling EVs, I think, to come to the market in the last 2 years. So wait until you hear the specs on it. If you've heard of it or you've seen it, but you don't really know the specs, you should. They're pretty good, I think. So Xiaomi was founded in 2010 in Beijing, in China, by Li Jun, along with 6 other business people, and is now officially the second largest smartphone manufacturer in the world. Samsung is the largest, Apple is the third. 2 reasons come to mind why the Xiaomi will be amazing. So number 1, the specs are amazing and the reviews coming out of China, amazing. Everybody seems to love it. Number 2, I've had more Xiaomi products than you can shake a stick at. I really have. And I've been blown away by their products on a technological level. Their design prowess is pretty good. When you see some of their decisions as well, on a component level, when, for example, creating an LED light, they build that in-house with their own design, and they do a really good job of that. And when they do little kick scooters, the electric ones like the M365 or e-bikes, they do an exceptional job on those. They use, for example, resistors that are more than capable of carrying the watts that the device is running. And this is really important for a couple of reasons. And they don't use inadequate resistors for things like voltage adjustments. The LED, the chipboard itself, and the resistors, the resistors on the LED mount to the chipboard, they don't get warm or hot or even warm even a little bit. So increasing longevity and efficiency, this is a big part of this. So if you Google how heat lowers the brightness and efficiency of an LED, then you can see why this matters. I used to repair a lot of things. I once actually did a presentation talking about how to make an LED light last a lot longer. So the Xiaomi M365 scooter and their bikes as well have some really clever bits of design in them. So the speed controller that gets very warm when riding it is not just inside the scooter like it is on almost all scooters and e-bikes. They don't just fit it inside a case to make it watertight, but they made the case that the controller board sits on from aluminium, and then they put thermal paste on the back of that and then bolt it to the aluminium frame of the e-bike or the scooter. Very, very clever thing. This in turn uses the actual frame as a heat sink to pull heat away from the controller. Really basic, clever thing to do. It's pretty good, I think. So I've dismantled lots and lots of their products over the years because I used to repair a lot of things, and I would talk about how good things are made and just show how well the design of the electronics is. I think that is an important thing to note with electric cars, obviously. So Xiaomi really do excel when it comes to designing their electrical products. They just do. So as BYD do as well, actually. That sounds funny. So you can see teardowns and find schematics on the internet from their vehicles, and they genuinely select components that are made to last, that increase efficiency and longevity for their products. They actually do that. So I have a solid basis, I think, to believe that they will have built this car at least fairly well, I reckon. So before I go into some of the specifics on the SU7, I'm Ben Alexander and I make EV news videos. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing. So this car is compelling, I think, for a few reasons. The base version, which is the one that most people will buy, is just awesome. Start straight off the bat, it's an awesome car. So the current converted price from China to the UK, for example, is £24,000. It'll be more by the time it gets to the UK or Europe, for example, for all sorts of reasons, as we can, if you've been watching my videos. The base version has a battery of 73.6 kilowatt hour and has a range of 434 CLTB, which is the Chinese measure of range, which if you convert this by simply taking off about 30%, which I think is going to take that much more closer from Chinese estimates to EPA, which is I think the most reasonable one. Take 30% off, you'll get a more accurate gauge of what you might expect in the UK, which is 300 miles or 320 miles, in that region roughly. It also has one motor on the rear wheels and then 294 horsepower, 400 newton meters of torque, which is a lot of torque You know, that's like a really strong diesel torque. That is pretty cool. So just over 5 seconds to 60 miles an hour. So it's a fast car, 130 miles an hour. They're pretty good specs, I think. For 24 grand is what they can buy that for in China. The mid-range version has a 94.3 kilowatt hour battery, 550 mile range, CLTC, so realistically 360 miles of range. 0 to 60, that's the same. Top speed, that's the same. The high-end version also comes with a 101 kilowatt hour battery and range. Roughly the range is the same, minus a few miles actually, because there's the extra weight of the motor, the double motor, so there's one at the front, and also the cost, I suppose, to carry the weight. And also 0 to 60, because it's a faster version, is 2.78 seconds to 60, 130 top speed miles an hour. The high-end version should be around £34,000 too, obviously, if you just convert Chinese prices. The drag coefficient is comparable to the Tesla Model 3 at 0.195 CD. For context, the Model 3 refresh, the Tesla Model 3 refresh, 0.219. So it's more efficient at going through the air in a straight line than a Tesla Model 3. That's pretty good. So if you're plugged into the fastest chargers as well, it can add 217 miles in 5 minutes, or 315 miles or 317 miles, I should say, in 15 minutes. Obviously, if the Xiaomi SU7 comes to the UK, then it will more than likely come with a cost to it. For obvious reasons, there'll be shipping costs, probably some sort of tax on it, and then a tariff. More than likely, that I just can imagine that there's going to be an automatic tax from Chinese EVs in the next 12 months. So you can see that the quality is fantastic from this footage. Really, really good. I think it's a wake-up call to the rest of the world, in my opinion, because if Europe, if they don't get a move on and make better, cheaper EVs, kind of for the masses, really, then it will become obvious that we're falling behind other parts of the world. Really clearly obvious. Clearly, the EU and German manufacturers are dragging their heels, which is fair enough, I suppose. We all have our own pace in life, but the Chinese EV companies are now having to be fended off. Literally, they are biting the proverbial ankles of the likes of Toyota and Volkswagen and Ford. So, what do you all think? I think this is a really great car. Can you name another car that is more compelling than this, and that looks as good as this, I think, without obviously mentioning the BYD Seagull?